Hello, and what a great day to sew something wonderful. I'm Kia with Kia B, and I'm so excited to be back with you today. I just looked right before I started filming, and it's been just over a month since I uploaded a Flosstube last. So I thought I would kind of just get out my stitching and haul and things I've like hit up over the last month and kind of share it with you. So it's kind of a hodgepodge, but that's okay. We'll get through it together. It's still fun. It is still fun to see each other stitching. So I say that, and I am so far behind on Flosstubes. I feel like I have not had time to like sit and go through Flosstubes and like listen to my friends and see what they're stitching. And so I am hoping more of that will come soon. We are back in the full swing of school. For those who don't know, we homeschool. We have 3 amazing kiddos and we homeschool all of them. And so they're entering into their 3rd week of school. And so we have a freshman, a 7th grader, and then our sweet little 9-year-old. So it's a lot. It's a lot. You know, like back when you make the decision to homeschool, or at least back when we made the decision to homeschool, it was always like, what are we going to do when they're in high school? And like they outsmart us. And here we are. So we'll see how this year goes. The workload is full, but I think it'll be fun to like learn together as well. So all of that to say, we're back in the full swing of school. I have to be honest though, in the last month, my stitching desire is just almost like nothing, which is so interesting to me because I started this summer out saying like, oh my gosh, my stitching bug is like alive and well. I want to stitch all the time. I'm waking up at 7 in the morning and like I enjoy an hour and a half by myself of just watching Flosstube and stitching, and like I just had like a passion for it at the beginning of the summer. And here I am ending the summer and it's like I like make myself sit down to stitch because I'm like, I don't want to lose my passion for stitching, but like I have to make myself sit down and stitch sometimes. So I don't have many whips, but what I do have, I've worked on quite a bit. In fact, this last weekend, I was able to attend Too Tall Stitchers retreat here in Indianapolis. And I was talking to some of the girls there and said like, one of them, we had a discussion at our table of like, how do you choose whips that you want to work on? And like, how often do you rotate those? And I will pull out a whip until I'm bored or until I'm like, oh, something else just caught my eye. But I don't just work on something one day. And so, I don't know, that's how I tend to do it. So I have only maybe like 5 or 6 things that I've been working on. But I think I've made some at least decent progress for me. I'm not sure why I pulled this out because this is finished and I think I've already shown you that. I don't need to show you that again. Okay, so yeah, that's kind of what's going on with us and where like my stitching desire has been. I'm standing today because I just have so much stuff around me. It was easier to do it from my island than it was from my desk. So I thought I'm just gonna stand today and that way it's a little bit easier. Okay, how are you doing? How are things going? What do you have planned for the fall? Let me know. Like, leave some comments of what your plans are for the fall. Do you have any trips coming up? Any plans to enjoy the fall weather? Oh, and I do have a question before we get started. Who is doing Sampler September? Is anyone doing Sampler September? What are you doing? Like, what are your plans? How are you going to organize that? I really want to do something. I just don't know what it is. I feel like sometimes I need someone else to tell me what to do. which is weird. But maybe just somebody else give me some ideas of how you might organize Sampler September, because I feel like I don't want to miss an opportunity to work on samplers, which I know I could do that anytime I want to. But anyway, speaking of samplers, if you watch my last Flosstube, you know that I started a birthday sal of Hands Across the Sea, Miss Sarah Milthorp. And this is her. Because I'm standing, I have weird lighting, so I apologize for that. So this is Sarah Milthorp. That house, oh, I can't wait to get to that. So I've been working on this a little bit. I got to Zoom with just a couple of friends yesterday, and we worked on this together. And so it's on my Patoki stand right now, so I'm just going to show it to you on that. And here is where I'm at on that. So I am a bottom left start always. And so that is where I'm at on that. Let me see. I guess it really doesn't matter. I'm using the Call for 103s. It's so gorgeous. Such a beautiful, fun border. And I'm just focusing on enjoying this stitch. I'm not trying to like make a ton of progress. I'm not like holding myself to like, you have to get this done in a certain amount of time. I want to enjoy this process. It is my first project that I've kit with 103s, and I have done 2 smaller Hands Across the Seas that I finished, 2 smaller samplers, but this is the first large one that I've started, and I want to enjoy the process a lot. So if you want to join me in a birthday sal, you are more than welcome to. I've had a lot of fun starting this. So that is that. I'm going to turn around. No, I'm not. I'm just going to leave it sit right here. So that's that. Speaking of Hands Across the Sea, I did start another larger one, and that is Margaret Ferguson. She's a Scottish sampler from Hands Across the Sea. So here she is. Sorry, that glare. I'll find some way that it's not glaring. There we go. So this is Margaret Ferguson. All the yellows, the flower border. So beautiful. Like, look at the shading of those flowers. It's just gorgeous. I am doing the called for substitutions of DMC. So she will always give you 103s, and then she also gives you DMCs as well. I was looking through. She gives you the 103s, the Swell d'Algers, and the DMCs. So I just chose the DMCs for this one, and I'm really enjoying it so much. Just as a side note, I love that Nicola gives us these in the bigger patterns, because when I have it on my stitching stand and I've got my pattern open, let's say that this is my pattern and I was working on this, I can have this peek out on my stand like this and have the reference and not have to flip back and forth. So I love that. Yeah, see, here's a larger picture of the sampler. It's just gorgeous. Again, another beautiful house. So I just love this extra, and then you can, this doubles as a stitch project card. So I love that. So I am doing this on 40 count creme brulee from Color and Cotton. And here is my progress on that. I've only had a couple of days. I didn't get to work on this very long, but here is my progress on that. This is really blowing this out. Let's see if that helps. There we go. The color of this fabric is just perfect. It's like the peachy tones. And so I've got that first, nope, it goes like this. Sorry. I've got that first big flower done. Lots of shading there, and it's just very pretty. So let me make sure. Yeah, there we go. So I'll show you the color palette, because I mean, it's worth looking at. It's gorgeous. So I think I told you it's 40 count creme brulee from Color and Cotton. Here is the called for. You know, it looks in the picture like it would pull more yellow than it actually does, but I just think it's a beautiful color palette. So that's been fun to have as a whip started. Okay, I want to get everything put in its right bag because I don't want to lose any of them. Okay, then I think I showed you in my haul last time that I was watching, not their latest because they've put out a Flosstube. The Attic has put out a Flosstube since I filmed last. But back in June, they uploaded one and I saw this Erica Michaels pattern called Constant Companion. And there is this smaller sampler here. It says, no one can look upon the needle without emotion. It is a constant companion in the pilgrimage of life. And when they showed Jean's take on this, this is stitched on gauze. Here's a bigger picture. That is stitched on gauze. She did not stitch it on gauze, but she did stitch it on 56 count with a Swasserfine conversion. That is the word I've been looking for the last 5 minutes. Conversion. And I emailed them and said, can I please have that kitted in whatever Jean did because it's gorgeous. So I got all the Swasserfine sent to me. And then this is a 56 count dirty teacup from Needle and Flax. And I have been working on this. I was just working on this at the retreat the other day. So here is my progress on that. So I've started that since I saw you last. And let me tell you, I don't know if you've ever used Swasserfine. It is like stitching with hair. It is so thin and beautiful. I mean, it is stunning to pull off the spool and use. I love it so very, very much. It might be a problem. So that's okay. 2 weekends ago, I did get to, I have been so blessed the last 2 weeks. I have been able to stitch in Zionsville, which is just north of Indianapolis, with some Indy and Cincinnati girls. I got to stitch for a few hours there. And then this weekend, I got to go to Cincinnati for Charm at the Farm, which is an outdoor market there if you are in the Cincinnati area. It's in Lebanon. It's a ton of fun. It's just an outdoor market. It's beautiful. Lots of tents, and it's just very, very cute. So I got to go to that, and I got to go to Too Tall retreat for one day. It is a retreat that is from Thursday to Sunday. Just with my schedule, I was pulled from the wait list, and I got to at least go for one day. So I was super grateful for that. I'm just grateful that I was able to attend those. So when I was at the Zionsville Stitching Day, I took In His Image from Teresa Kogut, which is this piece here. This is a, let me pull that out of the thing. This is a Craft Gallery exclusive from Teresa Kogut. They have the model hanging at Craft Gallery, but then also they have a beautiful, over by the fabric counter, they have hanging somebody else's finished stitch with just a few modifications. Stunning. Both of them are stunning. And so here it is. So you can call Craft Gallery and they will send you the chart, or they will completely kit it for you and send that as well. And when we were there last June, so June of 23, some friends and I saw this and just thought it was gorgeous. And one of the ladies, sorry, I keep saying girls, these are full-grown women. I very much apologize. One of these ladies reached out to Teresa and said, do you think that we could make one of these children more inclusive by maybe putting them in a wheelchair? And so Teresa was so kind and sweet, and she emailed us a little boy sitting in a wheelchair that you could change into a little girl, or you could change the clothes or the hair or anything you want. So when I was stitching in Zionsville last weekend, that is what I worked on. So here's the little boy in the wheelchair. So I worked on that. So it's still in the hoop because I need to finish that other little boy there. So I've got down into the corner of the house, the butterfly. You can see the smokestack here. And then I'm working on the kiddos as well. So, Teresa will be happy to email that to you. I know she said that in the past. Like if you email her and ask for that, that is definitely something that she is willing to email back to you. So if that's something you're interested in, please feel free to do that. So I loved getting that done. That was a cute little adaptation that I appreciate. And the plastic bag. I forgot to tell you, I am doing that on, I don't know what, because my card is missing. It is a 40 count from Color and Cotton. My card is just missing to know exactly what it was. So, but I do know it's a 40 count Color and Cotton. And it's beautiful. I love it. Okay. My last WIP that I have to show you is my Hawk Run Hollow. I have been working on the next block. So I have one block finished. I'm working on the second. There is a Hawk Run Hollow Zoom that we do once a month, and I've done that a few times and really enjoyed that. It's just once a month that I'm like dedicated to work on my Hawk Run. So I took this to Too Tall the other day and started working on that, and I'm about halfway through that second block. So this is Houses of Hawk Run Hollow. So I finished the cow. I did the little squirrel with the acorn, put the words in. Now I'm ready to move the hoop and work on the house, which let me show you. This is on a piece of 46 count Bee Stitch Me in the color Honey, which if you have not stitched on some Bee Stitch Me fabric, you're missing out. It's gorgeous. So here is the Houses of Hawk Run, and I am down here in this block. So I've got this one finished. I'm down here. I don't know if I'll go up here next or over here next. We'll see. But I enjoy that. Okay, let me get that put away. So that's all my WIPs that I have been working on over the last month. I don't think I've been working on any other ones. I really do think this is it because I've been piling them as I'm done stitching them. So speaking of WIPs, I really felt like I needed to get a handle on my WIP count. And when I say get a handle on it, I just need a number in my head so that I'm like, okay, you need a plan to like tackle and finish some of these things. So this is just a Vera Bradley note card ring. It's like a cute Vera Bradley pattern, and then it has dividers and stickers for your dividers. What I ended up doing is just covering it because I didn't love it was like a paisley pattern, and I'm not a paisley person. There's nothing wrong with paisley. It's just not my pattern. So what I did is just covered it with some cute ephemera and both sides. And what I did is separated all my WIPs. I made a note card for each with a picture of each pattern. And I separated them into small, medium, and large projects. Let me see. Yeah, small, medium, and large. So that I can flip through and go, oh, that actually looks like something I might want to pull out. So to give you an example, here, all I did was put what section of WIPs it is. So I have a WIP library. I made it maybe like 2 years ago where all my WIPs are in sections. And so, and my project bags stand straight up like this. So I put what section it's in, who the designer is, and then the name of it, and then a picture. So for instance, this one is Needlework by Kathy Barrick. So all this really does is just give me a picture. So I don't have to flip through my project bags themselves, and it puts it a little bit more in my face of like, what am I actually working on? So I could flip through and see. So some of my larger projects, here's Joie Noel from Suzanaki, and it's in my winter section. And then I'm doing it on 46 count Bee Stitch Me and Willow. So if I'm like, I don't really feel like, you know, my lighting isn't going to be good for a 56 count piece, or I don't really feel like stitching on a 46 count piece, I can kind of quickly know what that fabric is on. So I didn't write down like flosses. It's not a project card. It's just honestly for me just to be able to thumb through and maybe keep this in my face a little bit more about my whip count. So that's what I did. Nothing super fancy. Okay. I chose for my birthday to kit up a few projects, and so I thought I would share those with you. I spent like gift cards on 1-2-3 Stitch, and I took a trip to Always in Stitches, which is in Noblesville, Indiana, and kit up some projects. So this I found on the clearance table at Always in Stitches. This is called Small Samplings 1, a collection of antique needleworks from Heartstring Samplery. So it has all of these patterns inside of it. And actually when you flip it open, the pictures are much larger. So there's one of them. So I loved all of these. And if you've heard me talk about Cheez-It pillows before, I really like to make tiny little samplers and things like that. So these are all very small. So I just collected all the floss, and it's just going to live together so that when I want to pull out and start something small like that, for either a smalls exchange or a gift or something like that, then I can do that. I'm not going to wrestle that into the package. Okay, the next thing I did was, I think I've showed, maybe I haven't. For my birthday, anyway, I was shopping on 1-2-3 Stitch, and I got to just frivolously and guiltlessly add things to my cart, and I found this sampler, and it has so many things in it that I just love, and I love the color palette. So this is the Smith sampler from the Scarlet House. I saw that Kim, the Contented Needleworker, she has this hanging behind her, or she did. I saw that she's updated her craft room, and it's beautiful. And so when I saw this pop up on 1-2-3 Stitches, something you might like, I fully kitted up with all of the floss. They were out of a couple, so I did do a couple of conversions, but that's okay. So that is the Smith sampler. And if y'all don't know, I absolutely love swans. Love swans. We learned from Pat Ryan at Friend Stitch last year that the swan in antique samplers is a symbol of family and like the deepest connection that you can have with a person, especially black swans. And so I just very much enjoy swan. Like they just have a whole new meaning for me now, where a year ago I couldn't care less. And so I've just really enjoyed kitting that up. So that's one of them. Okay. The next thing is this beautiful Told in a Garden, which I have not been a Told in the Garden person. That's not something that's like been important to me or anything. It's not that it's not important. Anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling. I found this pattern to kind of commemorate our trip to Shipshewana that we took in June. And here it is. I cannot find the little picture. So this is what it is. Isn't that beautiful? And so I got all the DMCs for that finally. This one is called Amish Quilt Sampler. And so I think I just love it. It's very, very pretty. So I thought it would be great to kind of start that as just a commemorative piece for that time that I had over the summer. So there's that piece. When I was shopping on 123 Stitch, this came up because it had just been released. This is, actually I'm going to take it out of the package, so close your ears for a second if you have headphones in. Okay. This is Multiply Kindness by Hands Across the Sea. It just came out. And typically I have another multiplication table sampler from Kathy Barrick, and I love it. And I actually have it kitted up as well in my kit, not my kit parade, and just my kitted up things. And I love it the same. And the reason I was going to Stitches, because I'm a homeschool mom, right? This one I love because of the sentiment that's on it. So first of all, gorgeous border. Like, look at that border. But the sentiment that's on it is what just really gets me. It says, multiply kindness, divide your worry, subtract sorrow, but most importantly, add much happiness. And I think that's a beautiful sentiment. So I kit that up so that I would have it ready to go whenever I eliminate some whips and can get a handle on those. The last thing I kit up just from my trips, a very sweet and kind bougie stitcher sent me, I'd mentioned to her that I wanted to do, I said, oh, I think I'm going to start that Erica Michaels quilt series that you've been working on. And she said, have you bought the patterns yet? She was so kind to send them to me. So I get to start them now. I've been waiting to film and then I'm going to start them. So she sent me A through E and F through K so that I can start those. So while I was at Always in Stitches, I got all the floss for the whole series. So I can start these, which I'm very excited about. I had toyed around with the idea. I'm not 100% sure of what I want to do here, but I had thought about, because they're individual squares, I thought, what if I did each section? I don't do the border, but I do each section as a Cheez-It pillow and then put them in a dough ball all together. I just thought that would be really sweet and cute. So I thought I might do that. And I threw that in my Kathy Walker project bag, which was really sweet of her to make me. Okay, while I was at the Indie Zionsville Stitch Day, they had an Atomic Ranch trunk show. Now I came, they had it for several days, so there wasn't a ton of fabric left, but I did get 2 pieces of Atomic Ranch. So I'll show you those. This one is a fat quarter of 40 count in Amber Wave. So it is a good yellow, neutral, which is great. Great modeling. I've never stitched on Atomic Ranch before, so I'm excited to try it. And then I also picked up a 40 count Dune by Atomic Ranch. It's more of like a peachy, I would say it has peachy tones to it. So I enjoy that. So I'm excited to get something started on those. I picked up 2 Hardwick hoops. I love this size to throw in our hospital bag for tiny little things. And like if I want to do the little Cheez-It pillows out of the quilting sampler, these are great sizes for that. So I don't have to stitch on such a huge cloth and roll it up. I can break it down into smaller. So I grabbed those 2 Hardwick hoops. I grabbed Americana Red from October House. I need a good red for this, but I did see at Too Tall Retreat, they have a show and tell on Saturday night. And I saw somebody complete a monochromatic red sampler in DMC 115. So let me know if you've used the DMC variegated, because I am considering that. It was a good variegation between light and dark. I love that. I would say my favorite purchase from that day was Let No Net Ensnare Me. This is Sarah Newton, and it is by 1897 Schoolhouse Samplers. Let me take this out of the package because this bird needs to be seen. I did not buy the floss for this, so that is on my to-do list. But look at that bird. It's almost, I don't know, it's just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. And here is a picture of the original. Oh, I love it. I really like the, I was looking to see, this almost looked a little bit darker, but maybe not. So if you want to find this and sell it with me, I would totally sell this. I would sell anything, but this is gorgeous. So this is Let No Net Ensnare Me. Sarah Newton, finished February 26th, 1849. And so I picked that up. It was probably my favorite purchase of the day. I saw it and it was the last one and I thought, oh, I need to have that. That is gorgeous. I keep dropping them on the floor. Let's see. On the freebie table that day, I said I'm not a super told in the garden person, but this was on the freebie table and I really did like it a lot. This is Amish Wedding. There we go. I just thought it was cute. I don't know that I'll ever stitch it, but I thought it was super cute. And then our sweet friend Carrie from Tiger Lily, I saw that she put out her first ever sampler called the Crown Family Sampler. And so I immediately, as soon as I saw it, went on her website and bought the kit. So she sent me the kit for this. This is the Crown Family Sampler by Tiger Lily. It's her first ever sampler. And I bought it with the Treenway Silks. So this is in the color Harmony. And it is beautiful, a beautiful red. So cannot wait to start that. And she sent me some other little goodies and that was so sweet of her to do. So thank you, Carrie, for that. Okay. I just have some fabric of the month if you want to see that. This Color and Cotton fabric of the month is gorgeous. It reminds me, it's called Graveyard Mist, and this is for August. It looks very gray in this lighting. It is a really light blue, almost, at first it almost looks like a Monopoly board, not that green, but it's just beautiful. So I love that a lot. I got that. And then the July fabric of the month, I thought I had another one, but maybe I don't. For Be Stitch Me is Coconut Shell. Look at that. I have no idea what in the world I would do with this, but I'm glad to have it because I'm sure eventually I'm going to be like, that is going on that. So beautiful, like browns. It's pulling green in that picture. It is not green at all. It is browns and tans. So, but the modeling in this is just incredible. Like that is a lot of modeling. So I wish that we're not pulling green on the picture because it's not green at all. So that is that 46 count that I got. Okay. I dropped something else somewhere. I got the sweetest package from Christy, because it's down there on the floor. Oh, you know what? I'm actually going to take a second to grab this. Hang on. Because something else fell too. Look at this packaging. I mean, come on. Adorable. So Chrissy from the Cousin Christy, first of all, sent our son, our youngest, the sweetest. He is a hat person. If you meet Pearson in person, he is a hat guy. He loves hats. He has worn a hat his entire life because he's had so much head work done. He gets really, he doesn't like when people ask about his head and the scars on his head. Anyway, all of that to say, she sent him a hat 2 weeks ago that was auburn and he has loved it. All the men in our church use him as their own personal collegiate billboard. So he now has Notre Dame, Ohio State, Tennessee Vols, Auburn, I'm missing one. I'm missing one. It's another red one. Oh, Alabama. Oh my gosh. Anyway, and when we were in the hospital last week, the emergency room doctor was like, oh, well, that Ohio State hat just won't do. I need to go find you a Clemson Tigers hat. And he was asking everyone, all of his buddies that he knew that are in the same residency, does anybody have a Clemson hat? And nobody did, but he was just determined that our little guy would get a Clemson Tiger hat. So eventually we'll have to add that to his collection. But anyway, Christy was so sweet and kind to send him an Auburn hat. And then she sent me a little package of just like some little cousin goodies. And so I thought I would share with you because I had not seen these before. Hello. I think my kids are taking a break from school because I can hear them talking. Okay, this needle minder, adorable. So, so cute. So she sent me that and just a bunch of other project cards and things like that. So I've already told you personally, but thank you very much, cousin. I very much appreciate it. Okay, the last thing I want to tell you about is this dyer that I was introduced to. It is Dyeing for Cross Stitch, D-Y-E-I-N-G, for cross stitch, and it's the number 4. So I will hold up this tag and you can screenshot this. So she does a monthly fabric club, but it's not one that like you have to enroll in or anything, and it's not one that you have to commit to. She will post what the fabric is for the month, and then you choose whether you want to order it or not. Somebody told me about this. They were stitching on a piece when we were together in Zionsville, and I got on her website and immediately ordered a fat half because she charged me $44 for a fat half of 46 count. And this month's color is called, oh, it's just called August 2024 Fabric of the Month. And this is a fat half of 46 count. Look at this, beautiful. And it is so soft. It is extremely soft. I very much like it. So check her out. From what I understand, she's a relatively new dyer. She's here in Indiana. And so I got mine I ordered it on Sunday when I was in Zionsville. When I went back to Zionsville on Saturday for Two Talls retreat, I already had it in my hand. So 5 days, 6 days, whatever, because I got it in on Friday. So it's beautiful it's very, very well dyed. It's not too stiff. It's not too soft. It's very well dyed. It's not going to be too loose at all. So, and I did ask the lady that told us about this fabric, I did ask her, like, do you feel, she was stitching on 36 count. So do you feel like it's a tight 36 or a loose 36? She did feel like it was a tight 36, but not too tight that it would like hurt you. You know, some fabrics feel like they're going to cut you. So anyway, and I did not share this last time, but would y'all look at this sweet card from our friend Caitlin. If you're not watching her Flosstube, she is Stitch, Read, Repeat. Look at that card. She sent me the sweetest card. She actually sent me 2 cards. One for our family and one for my birthday. And I just thought that was so kind of her. So thank you very much. You should watch her on Flosstube. She's great. Okay. I've got to go finish school for the rest of the day. But thank you so much for joining me in the hive today. My plans are just to stitch what I want to stitch and when I want to stitch it. So that's what the plan is. So I hope that you are enjoying your stitches. I've heard from several friends that everyone seems to be, not everyone, I've heard from several friends that they are also struggling to just kind of get in the routine of stitching and enjoying that. And so I just hope that you find yourself enjoying your stitching, and that if you're struggling to enjoy that, then that bug comes back soon and you can fall in love with it all over again. So, all right, well, thank you so much for joining me in the hive today, and you'll have a great day.